Alright. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? We've got ourselves a big best of 3 here. They keep on changing the format in the Monday Night Weekly, but I actually think this is potentially the funnest format. We've got Clem in the top right side, Hero in the bottom left. Remember, this is the format where you can have players play 3 best of 3s against each other, which kind of turns it into a big best of 9, or, you know, even more than that, more like a best of 11, since you need 6 wins to actually win all 3. Though I guess you only need to win 4. No, it's more like a best of 9 or a best of 7. Either way, it makes it epic. We've got Hero vs. Clem. This is the upper bracket finals. Winner of this goes to the grand finals, but if they lose that match, whoever comes from the loser's side, there will be another second best of 3 in that grand finals. So there is a chance Hero, say, loses this match to Clem, beats like Max Pax in the loser's bracket, Max matches again, wins the best of 3 rematch, and they go to a third final deciding best of 3. I am very curious to see how this goes. We've got a Twilight Council on the top left side going for Blink, a Depth Stalker at the front. Of course, for now, we'll just keep that best of 3 scoreboard up. But if we do end up moving into other series, who knows, we might upload those all as one combo to see kind of the rivalry between the 2 players and how it evolves over that series, and just try to make sure we make notes on that scoreboard on the screen as we go. Realizing, as I say this, I cast a series like this the other day, and I did not make a note for my lovely editor to put that scoreboard on the screen. So it probably didn't get there, and people were probably finding it maybe a little bit hard to track throughout the video what the score was. But, you know, it's always good to realize afterwards. So at least we could do it for this one. Are we going to be doing any bets? After this game, I'll do some individual map bets. I didn't have time for this one. If one of the mods wants to throw a bet up for this one, just for this map or the series or whatever, they can go for it. It's early enough, but you need to close it after like 1 or 2 minutes, as this game could be over very quickly. Tank and Lib coming out for Clem. We don't see him do this build order very much, the old Tank Lib. Actually, wait a second. He's doing this without the mine drop. Normally people do this with the mine drop, right? Normally you have the mine drop in the back, then you have the tank marine push out the front, and the Lib hits the main, mines hit the third, and the marine tank pushes the middle. But Clem's playing this a lot more chill for now. Looks like maybe not quite as committed. Hellion does find a probe, spots the fast third base. Now keep in mind, guys, that is 3-gate blink robo. Very solid defense so far for Hero. And he's building his extra pylon, his gas, all at the right time. So very clean, calculated play. And this is what I love about Hero, is he can swap into a very solid defensive opening when the time calls for it. And Clem likewise says, well, I know you're just sitting at home. A Liberator is not going to do anything unless it catches you by surprise. So he's going to wait for Hero to get caught off guard. Hellion's going to try to run in there. At depth, though, we'll go hunting it, and I doubt Clem is watching quickly enough to get out of there. All right, defensive setup for Clem, guys. So he just built the tank super early. So Clem's playing the most careful opening you possibly can. Liberator, his only real commitment to any aggression. And I think realizing that Hero's in a defensive stance, he's going to adopt one of his own. I expect a command center by 540. And yeah, look, he's already there. He's already waiting for the money. Because he's in such a defensive stance and there's a fast third from the Protoss, you need to go for your own quick third command center to make up for it. And there you go, 400 minerals is saved up. So even before 5 minutes 30, it's a very static opening. You have to be very confident as a player. And I think this is especially bad if the Protoss goes Storm, because it gives the Protoss so much room to get up to Storm and then ambush you when you're moving out to take the third base. But this does look like a more standard style for Hero. I would expect a Robo Bay to go down soon. A lot of the Korean players, Zaun especially, has been using a 3-gas Colossus style recently. I'm not sure if Hero is the biggest fan of that. Max Pax almost always takes the 4th gas along with his Robo Bay, and he would do that right about this moment. 3 sentries. What in the... That's a lot of sentries, guys. That's really slowing down his gas there. I guess Hero really wants to play Zealot Stalker Sentry for a little bit longer. 4th gas does go down. Still no splash damage started. It's getting late to start that splash damage as a drop sneaks down the left. Alright guys, Robo Bay is coming down now. It is that Robo Bay we expected. +1 on the Forge. +1 attack already almost finished for Clem. He's got a 4th and 5th barracks coming up in the natural. Liberator does re-siege here. Stalkers will have to back away. The damage of that Liberator is a bit too intense. You can see it's getting a bit fuzzy around the edges due to that black hole it's orbiting. Stalkers not blinking back as much as you'd expect there. No blink on the individual Stalker. Yeah, getting 2 Marines is good. Not really worth losing a Stalker, though. No warping in the main. Oh, there they are. Oh, he's like, please show me that medevac. But now he goes in vision.
Research.
And that's, of course, going to make sure there's no way Clem goes in if you show him the Stalkers. So Hero's going to pull those back. A few Stalkers in the mid. Without a Colossus out, I really feel this Colossus is so late, guys. If Clem does decide to shove right now, having no Colossus to slow down the push would be scary. Luckily for Hero, Clem is so passive in this game that it's okay. And the 4th Nexus will get up. Tanks just inching forward, not really moving out for an attack, just purely defensive play for Clem. His +1 armor started as well. Ghost Academy is going to go down in the next 15 seconds. And the reason I say this is because, well, he's just sitting there. He's not attacking. He's got his 3rd saturated. You know, Ghost Academy usually is the next. Sometimes 2nd eBay Armory has become a bit more popular for the Terran to actually keep up upgrades, so maybe he goes for that. Clem did just come out of a PvT series before this, by the way. He was playing Protoss against Cure. Looked excellent with his PvT. And it is indeed the 2nd eBay Armory and Ghost Academy at the same time. A little bit later than I thought they would go down. But he's just prioritizing, you know, SCVs originally. Now he's at 70 workers. It's Marine Marauder production. He's got his 5th and 6th gas up. Bunker loading on that side. Liberator's still just chilling. If you don't have a Stargate, this sort of movement can be very frustrating to deal with. Now, I do think these Stalkers perhaps should go roam the map. Clear out this left side. Get some pylons along the edges. And I do think if you can get a gateway over here and a gateway up in the top left, that would be friggin' nice. That'd be really, really good as sort of a budget prism to be sending zealots in on those counterattack paths. Double Forge, chrono boosting quite nicely. It is 8 gateways still, not 10, and only single robo. No 2nd robo just yet. I imagine that's next on the menu for the 4-gas Protoss Hero. His 5th base has started. Just massing gateway units and a few Colossus here. 2 Colossus out, 3rd one building. How many Vikings does Clem have? 4 Vikings. He's got 3 more barracks coming down. That'll take him to 8 barracks. All tech labs on these last barracks, as that's the standard way to do it. I'm sure that's what he'll do. 4th command center's almost finished. Real just textbook macro game for Clem. Like, no risks, no surprises, no curveballs. Clem feels confident that if he doesn't make mistakes, Hero will throw the game away at some point. He really does feel like, I just got to wait for you to make mistakes. I don't need to do anything against you. And I think that's so dangerous of a way to play against Hero. But it has worked for him recently, right? They've had a lot of close series. Clem has won a lot of them. Hero hasn't won too many. Colossus gets caught in the open. Big mistake there for Hero. 1 Colossus goes down. 2nd one getting taken down by the Vikings very quickly. Clem gets 2 Colossus there for very few units, and that is an excellent trade because remember, it's a Mass Zealot Stalker army that's not that well upgraded. He's only ahead 1 upgrade and not for much longer with 2-2 starting, or being halfway done, I should say, for Clem. So Hero, he's building 5 more gateways. That's great if you keep your 3 Colossus alive. He's just lost 2 Colossus. Now he's back to 2 as this one rallies out, but this feels like it's a very bad first meaningful skirmish in this game. Puts Clem in the advantage in the units lost tab as well. His 4th base uncontested on the right side. Planetary there is being erected. 5th command center and 6th command center building. Hero dives though, catches a bunch of exposed Marauders. Pretty damn nice engage to start with. Gets himself a couple of Vikings. Actually, only 1 Viking. 2nd one does survive that next volley. I do think a Warp Prism is probably necessary as well. Having no 2nd Robo here is ridiculous. I can't believe there's no Robo here, man. That lib's going to come in at the most annoying point as well, by the way. Because you can tell Hero's F2 to the front. You know Clem's going to siege that at a very annoying moment. He's also got the Raven on the left. He's going to start spamming auto turrets over there, but good blink there. Baits one of those Widow Mines. 2nd one, not quite firing. Zealot's going to be taking that one for the team. Raven on that left, still chilling. Liberator on the right. Clem just trying to survive right now. It's still a dangerous position. You know, if Clem takes a bad fight, things could go awry, but I just feel like this bio ball should be big enough to deal with the Zealots as long as they stutter step back. And indeed they will. Nice stutter stepping back there for Clem. And Hero wisely backing off. He's still got 2 Colossus up. 3rd one is building. The Vikings get a nice volley though, and that Stalker blink forward gets a few. Is it enough? Zealots kind of filtering in from behind here. The rally very awkward for Hero. Hero now down 2,500 resources in the units lost. Single Colossus, Stalkers, and Zealots getting surrounded. And Hero does not have any extra production behind this. In a game like this that went so static for so long, to have no Storm, no 2nd Robo, or anything like that, it does feel like a crazy decision to just be fighting like this for Hero. He's going in right now, but without a forward warp in point, that is a crazy choice. Trying to overwhelm with raw numbers and he ends up stepping into the meat grinder, putting his hand into the fox trap just to see what happens. Turns out minus 5,000 resources in the units lost, which is, as you can imagine, pretty bad. We have a few different terms in Australia we use for this sort of situation, which I can't repeat on stream. But yeah, let's, yeah, that's going to be it, man. That's too much bio. Doesn't even need to start itself yet. Look at that. When a Terran stands their ground like that, it's an easy win in map 1 here for Clem. I think losing those first 2 Colossus gave up Hero's window to kind of chip at his opponent, move around, pick away at him. And it just feels like these fights are not going his way at all. And he's just kind of making sentries, making more Zealots and Stalkers. But being so far behind this style feels like its usefulness, its use by date is more than over. 3-2 against 2-2 upgrades in Hero's favor. You know, he has that slight upgrade lead, but with 3-3 starting earlier for Clem, he will surpass him. Mobius core, or sorry, Caduceus reactor. Mobius, what was the Mobius? Was there a Mobius upgrade for the Raven or something like that? I'm not sure which. There was a Mobius something used to be in the game. But Caduceus reactor, the energy regen upgrade is coming in. 5th planetary coming up on that side. Auto turrets being annoying over there. Liberator on the right. As I said, Hero's tendency to F2 and not leave a single Stalker on these edges would cost him. I didn't realize there was a count in there though, Clem. Clem chasing the army down. Zealot Stalker Colossus trying to retreat at the same time. Clem up 30 army supply. Vikings on the Colossus. Marine Marauder in the midst of it. And those Zealots getting gunned down without any splash damage behind it. Sentries are not going to be enough to defend this. Beautiful pickup. That medevac deep in the red saves the bio. This one not a tightly contested game. Recently, Hero has had some amazingly close back and forth games with Clem. It's a bit weird to see Clem play so passive and then just so calmly and confidently take control. And it's games like this which Hero needs to start turning around, because when he's got Clem on the ropes, Clem makes big mistakes against him. But in games like this, where Clem plays the most chilled out generic style ever and finds such success, I have to wonder if you need to start winning a game or two like this, you got to punish him for such a defensive style somehow, whether that be with a Storm Zealot timing or something else, to get Clem's respect. Because right now, doesn't feel like Clem's super respecting this. Now, maybe is Clem overcommitting a little bit here? He's out of medevac energy. He did overcommit. Oh my lord. Hero actually manages to clear out most, but not all of it. Those Stalkers going down is so expensive. If he killed that whole army, that could have snowballed, but damn. The units lost tab is just going to tell us a nasty story. 7,000 resources trailing now. Well, closer to 6,000. But the Colossus gets EMP'd and clicked on. Hero continuing to attack into very bad fights where he's just so outnumbered. But this style really doesn't do well. Like what can you do with this tech setup? If you don't have disruptors or storms or more than one Colossus at a time, you don't really have a good defender's advantage. Your whole style is jump on the Terran, overwhelm him, drown him in numbers. But you're down in numbers because you've lost too many fights. So, you know, we can look at this and say, Hero, why don't you try something different? Well, he's going to try a second Robo, but it's so hard to pivot from a position where you've kind of committed to a mass gateway and figure that out. Oh, Mobius Reactor was the Ghost Energy upgrade. Good call there from Twitch chat. That was Empyreon with the good memory. Used to be a Ghost Energy upgrade on the Ghost Academy. But I think they spawn with 75 energy these days. Similar to the Infestors. Spawning with an EMP at the ready. Commands are in the top left on the 5th, or 6th base, I should say. Hero can deny this. Maybe he can get back in this game. He's got 2 Colossus, 24 Zealots, 9 Stalkers, and a Sentry. We'll see what he can make happen. Bio Ghost Ball looking reasonably solid. Not many Vikings here, guys. Where are those Vikings? Coming in from the right side. There's a tank across the rocks as well. And a little Bio flank coming. A bit of a weird position to find himself in for Clem. And actually a very kind of sloppy fight where the Colossus survive. The Vikings get pushed back, but not enough Zealots to overwhelm. 3-3 against 3-3 upgrades now with some EMPs in the mix, of course. Feels pretty good for Clem. Finds the probes mining this base, trying to steal this base off him. What I love about Hero is his ability to attack into seemingly lost causes with absolutely no qualms. You know, sometimes when I watch a game like this of Hero, I'm really reminded of the old film Zulu, starring Michael Caine, if anyone remembers that one in his young, much younger days. You know, it really feels like the beginning of that movie sometimes, where they're running up and just getting shot down and kind of counting the soldiers. And you're like, really? You're going to stand in front and count the guys with guns while they shoot you? I don't know if that makes any sense, man. And that's kind of the level of tactics that Hero seems to be showing here. But you know what? He keeps pushing him back, and Clem, he's always dancing on that edge of overcommitting, it seems. His miss rally gets caught. 4 Marauders go down there. Units lost time still 6,000, which means the last few fights have actually been decent. If Hero gets back in this game, I will be stunned. Like, the ability to just stay in your opponent's face, lose fights repeatedly, but never have him have a chance to counterattack because he's always defending. There's no chance for him to expose your weakness or your undefended bases. 2 Disruptors on the flank. He throws 1 shot forward, clips a Marauder with it, but that's all. Good pull of the SCVs over there on the right side as well. Some bio. Colossus in the open. Zealot Stalker dives on the left. 1 Colossus there. Disruptor trying to cover the right flank, but the Colossus has already gone down. Disruptors coming in do give a chance for maybe that big comeback potential. It relies on 2 things. Hero mounting heavy pressure. Clem getting a little slippery with his micro. Maybe a little sweaty. His hand slipping on his mouse a little bit. It needs a mistake. He's going to go for the triple drop on the right. And Hero's been wide open. If even a single dropship got in some of these bases on the back line during all this fighting, it would have been deadly. But look at that. Hero sees it. Hero's going to dive on this army on the left, most likely, as he sees this drop coming. But Clem knows he's spotted due to the pylon being there, even though he didn't know about the observer. So he's going to at least unload, which gives him the chance to run away. He's quite wounded, though. Hero's going to think about counter-attacking. He's got some Zealot Stalker there. Hello. Clem diving the left side to punish. This is going to turn into a slippery situation. Command center gets cancelled. Planetary trying to repair. Left side base going down. This army does get chased back. If Hero blinks these Stalkers to the left, he could have intercepted that. But he was so focused on the planetary, he did let the triple drop escape. Some of the units inside, of course, had died, but saving units at all, pretty damn good for Clem. And I think Clem might be okay with these trades. He's going to lose 2 command centers and a bunch of bases. He's starting to establish defensive setup on his natural. Takes out his 2nd Nexus. He's got Bio up there, getting so many probes, and a 3rd Nexus snipe in the near future. And I think Hero's going to have to come back. He's got Zealot Stalkers and Sentries also defending his own natural. So 3 bases for 2, but Hero does not get the next command center. So it's only 1 command center. He dislodges multiple bases, but he doesn't get them all. Probes in the top left taking damage. The Bio actually running away, trying to escape. I think Clem realizes if this army gets cornered, maybe this could turn in Hero's favor. A couple of ghosts get taken down in the retreat. The rest of the army has, like, stimmed itself deep in the orange, so it's going to be a bit of time healing for Clem before he forces another fight. Then again, Hero's going to make him fight before then. Stalker's coming forward. Lib's going to siege. Viking on the left. Bio army coming in from the left as well. Pretty damn good positioning for Clem. I gotta say, look at the way his Bio pulls away on the left and comes in on the right to punish. Mostly dodging the disruptor shots. Only getting a few units clipped here and there. The Libs marching forward in the midst of it. This is the micro most Terran players dream of having. I mean, I have this micro every single day while I'm asleep, winning tournaments in my dreams, holding up trophies, and then I wake up and remember that I am not Clem, and I will never be able to do what he just did with that army. Very well played. Nice dominant game 1 for Clem. All right, that was a dominant game 1 for Clem. Thankfully, his opponent is untiltable. I often feel when I'm watching StarCraft, if I see Clem or any player dominate a game the way they did, I start to think, oh, the other guy really doesn't look like he's got a chance. The great thing about Hero is he can get dominated 3 games in a row and then win the next 4 as if his opponent doesn't even belong in the same competition as him. So Hero is a man of extremes, and I mean, it's actually very regular for him to throw 2 games against, like, Dark, for instance. How many times has he gone down 0-2 versus Dark in a best of 5, wins the next 3 games in a row? And it's his ability to do that is very, very high. Now, obviously, coming back and winning 2 games in a row versus Clem, not easy, but very possible. And I would remind you all, he's going Nexus before core. I have been talking about this a lot, especially on maps like Amygdala with a longer rush distance. It's such a good build. If you're going to skip the Worker Scout especially, or you go skip the Worker Scout, you go 19 Nexus, 19 Cybercore. The Cybercore is barely delayed from a normal Cybercore. You can still sometimes cancel the command center being built on the natural off of this opening on a smaller map. Like, that's how good, or at least kill the SCV is what I mean. This is a very good opening. We don't see it used enough. Now, a lot of people say, well, why not? Isn't Cybercore First better and safer? And I think, yeah, if you're a robot who only knows how to copy max packs, sure. But if you're thinking for yourself, you'd realize, oh, look, I've got my gas mining at 1 minute 57 with 3 workers already on gas. I'm going to have my natural finish 20 seconds faster, and that's going to give me, or 15 seconds, whatever the number is, that's going to give me an entire extra chrono boost early. It's going to give me like 2 extra probes out super fast. Like, there's so many advantages to this, if you can get away with it. Now, you shouldn't do it every game, but in terms of if you're going to be a player who varies up their strategies, changes things up, such a nice way to take an edge, and he's going to have a really quick blink. Like that, Twilight started at 216, 217. Often you see it start at 233. You know, having a 15-second lead on your Twilight and then your blink is actually quite big. And now, obviously, blink, often you don't have enough gas to start blink the moment that finishes, especially since he's going for 2 Stalkers. But even with 2 Stalkers and Warp Gate, because he went for this opening, it looks like he's going to have 150 gas ready. He might even be able to queue up a 3rd unit like an Adept or a Stalker and still have 150 for blink. Yeah, look at that. He starts an Adept, and then he should have 150 minerals in a moment. Does get delayed just a couple seconds, but he insta-chronos at 3 minutes, which means with an upgrade that takes 2 minutes, you chrono this twice, it'll only take 1:40, which means you're going to have 4:40 blink. That's right around the time drops can be in your base. So this is one of those things, you do an opening like this, and suddenly the Terran's harassment gets a lot scarier as well, because it could run into a bunch of Stalkers blinking on top and shutting you down. Now, the Hellions going to be, I believe, the first scout here for Clem in this game, right? Driving across this map, kind of checking out what's going on, making sure there's no 3rd behind it. It's just Marines, Widowmine. He did skip the bunker, played a bit greedy there, and he's got that medevac coming in. So it looks like a Marine mine drop will be the choice for him. Second gate comes down. No 3rd gate just yet. Interesting that he puts a pylon up on the edge, because he really has no production space in the center of his base at all. He can only build buildings on the edges. Adept doesn't quite see that medevac, I don't think. I mean, Clem has done a 3-2 comeback against Cyril, says Coffee Victor. I mean, that's not really surprising, though. Right? Like, Clem is so... If there's just so many situations. If Clem gets to a standard multitasking war with anyone, he's so favored. Now, you've got to get an edge on Clem in TVZ. Stalker's coming north. Blinker's done, guys. This is exactly what I was talking about being a problem. Oh, he doesn't actually focus the Widowmine, I guess, because he doesn't consider it a threat, but he does let the drop get out. Nonetheless, loses nothing. Kills 2 Marines and a mine. Shuts the drop down. Oh, but he... Don't let the Hellion kill 5 probes. Oh, my God. Okay, only 2 probes. It could have been worse. That's not too bad. That's fine. And the power of blink here is real. So he's now going to have a really tight blink pressure. Oh, this is a big mistake for Clem. Big mistake for Clem. Going to get punished. And Hero, the variability of his openings. This is what I love about it, is Clem is not used to running into blink this early. This earlier defense, this well set up a defense, and he's now having to run home and frantically trying to defend. He's got very safe tank. Look at how far back he puts that tank. You blink in here, you're getting shelled immediately. There is an observer. 2 observers coming out. One in the top, one in the natural, but they're not here. It's going to have to use the prism. And I think the Stalkers can just blink on the tank and win the game. Stalker's going to come in. Really nice play. Hasn't lost a single Stalker yet. Great pickups and drops on these Stalkers. No Marines getting inside the bunkers. He blinks over there for... That was... I guess he wanted the medevac. Very odd choice, but... He's going to start doing some fancy pickup micro. He's going to kill so many SCVs. It might just be worth it. And 7 SCVs. Gets the medevac as well. And he's going to warp in 3 more Stalkers and keep going. 3rd Nexus is on the way. Probing's happening. This is not all in. And yet it looks like it's already done so much damage, having such a crisp shutdown of Clem's pressure. And the fact that Clem delayed his extra tanks and things like that is part of why this is so good. Now, this tank is very, very safe in its position, but a couple tech labs will go down nonetheless. And this is why this was not a good move for Hero. Hero should have realized with his observer what he was stepping into. He loses 3 Stalkers, maybe 4 Stalkers there. Unnecessarily. That tank sieged pretty well, but if you drop back behind the eBay, which Hero is going to realize, he will be able to deny mining. Stalkers on the natural, not going to find anything. There's still a tank there. I think with 3 tanks out, 4th one building, looks like this aggression should be done. I still think Hero comes out on top, despite throwing away a couple of Stalkers. Units lost tab, as you can see. About 2-1 in his favor. He's got a Forge with +1 coming up. This shield battery on each base, this is something that he really likes to do. It's one of the things I'm very critical of in his play. I feel like Hero builds shield batteries when there's no reason to build them. Right now, guys, Stim hasn't even started, and he's built a shield battery in each base. So you have to wonder, unless he thinks there's a Banshee coming in, which did he see a Tech Lab Starport? I mean, he did see the Tech Lab Starport earlier, because he knew the Raven was building. But he killed the Tech Lab on the Starport, so it couldn't possibly have been making Cloak. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's a waste of money. It's just one of those small inefficiencies, guys, where a shield battery used to be such an important thing. It's less important now, I just think the extra gateways coming down, going to 8 gates, is what's actually going to defend you, getting a few pylons on the edge of the map. And it's something where there are games where a shield battery on the front, like I think the shield battery on the third is always a good idea, but the main and the natural are bases which really shouldn't be having fighting going on in them unless you've made a few slip-ups. So obviously to each his own. Some people would say it's 300 minerals of insurance. Who really cares? And I don't think you've got an invalid point there. I think it's perfectly fine to say that. I mean, he was already on 5 gates, right? So I think the last week we were mentioning he did this when he was on like 2 gates with no production, no army. He knew a push was going to hit him in 2 minutes, and the first thing he did was drop shield batteries, and he just didn't have enough production to spend his money. That's I think a more binary position. This one, I think there's a much better argument for those shield batteries, so I think I'll lay off that one. Raven coming up north, tanks moving forward. Accidental Reaper, that's a misclick for Clem, guys. 50 gas down the drain. Especially when you're low on gas, like in this game. That doesn't feel too good. Stim and shields finishing, +1 armor on the way. Raven's going to come in the main. The Stalkers are like, get out of here, dude. And you know what? I guess maybe the batteries were to defend the Raven as well. That's another argument, because it's not just the Banshee, right? If you do a single auto turret, it does nothing against a shield battery. It's only if you drop double or triple that you can get through that. Now, Stalker did start chasing, but the Raven, yeah, I would love him to just send this Stalker to like here or down here and try to get him on the retreat, but looks like Hero's going to give up on that Stalker. Colossus Zealot runs into the army down the bottom, shaves off a few units. Really nice. Got to hold this area. But with Charge Zealots coming in off 9 gateways, I think Clem's dead. Because look at that. What's he got, guys? He's got like 10, not even 10 Marines. 4 Marauders, 8 Marines, 2 mines, 3 mines. There's not enough units here defending those tanks. If a bunch of Zealots come in here with a spready, this could end so quickly, especially with those Colossus shredding. 2 tanks on siege right now. Widowmine's trying to fire. They are doing some damage, but I don't think it's enough here. The tanks do focus fire. One of the Colossus. Not enough Zealots, actually. Great play there for Clem. I thought Hero would be able to overwhelm that. Now, Hero has built what we call a random dum-dum nexus on the reverse side of the gold. He wants those gold minerals for the income boost. It's going to give him that, but it's so exposed. It's also a recall nexus he could use to reposition. 9 gateways. He needs mass Zealot right now. It's all about Zealots and trying to flank this position. If he can do that, I think Hero can break this. Those 2 tanks are the big problem. Once the tanks are gone, he can dance with this. But while the tanks are there, they add so much anti-Colossus Stalker firepower. That's going to be an issue. Zealots are going to go for it. Here we go, coming in a bit of a line, but I think that's okay. Stalker's blinking to take care of the Vikings. I think the tanks might be the bigger threat, actually. And he blinked away from the tanks. But one Colossus will stand strong at the end of all that, which is very good. Stalkers, of course, can always blink to dodge Widow Mines, but he doesn't quite do it correctly. Takes a few Widow Mines to the chin of those Stalkers. Nonetheless, Hero survives. And it is, of course, a 4th Command Center on the way. Ghost Academy coming up. 2nd eBay Armory there, but Clem doesn't have the money to really do everything, right? He starts 2-2, but I think this gives Hero an opportunity to counterpush, and Hero with that gold base now mining. Unfortunately, it's mining from the wrong direction. He's long distance mining the gold from the other side there, and I think Hero taking that gold impulsively. I would have much rather, I think, the standard base just below his main. Stalker Zealot Colossus coming forward. It's still a very dangerous supply moment in the game with no forward warp in, but it could be a winning move. If Hero loses all these units, this swings hard. Clem can counterattack the bottom right. But if Hero holds this position for another 20 seconds, it's game over. If he holds this to like 11 minutes 20, it's game over. Clem has to break this position. He has to regain control. He can't do it. And Hero will take a game there. Fantastic. No scout. 19 Nexus opening. Shuts down the first drop and takes control from that point on. All right, guys, going to the next game. We had to have a very slight ad break there. We're casting this one live, so we did miss the first minute and a half of this game. Clem didn't scout. He's done a double gas reactor first opening into factory before pulling a worker off gas. Guys, he's still got guys on gas. He's doing a very, very aggressive build. He's going to go instant starport and play crazy aggressive. He's up against Hero, who has also done a no scout build. But it's Cybercore before Nexus this time. You could tell because he's already chronoing the fastest possible Adept and Zealot across the map to try and punish the low ground command center. Now, you could see Clem stayed on gas a bit longer. He did that because he's building double Reaper, I guess, and he wants the starport to go down with very little delay. No. Then why are you floating so much gas, Clem? You've delayed your command center by 15 seconds, which makes it even more vulnerable, I would say, to this Zealot and Adept pressure. But the Zealot and Adept aren't going in. Okay, which is probably good because there are Reapers here, and they're... Oh, there's no hiding. Not from Clem. Clem, oh! Okay, he did notice. He almost pulled that Reaper away, and then he realized, wait a second. Clem checks his corners, guys. Remember, it's like clearing out a house in an urban fighting environment. When you're playing hero, check behind your doors, check behind your corners, and remember, you're probably stepping on an IED most of the time. You know, don't pick up the teddy bear on the ground. And yes, the lady with the pram, there's no baby in that. There is a bomb. Reapers and Hellions hanging out as well, trying to dance back and forth. One adept goes down. Can he get another Reaper? No, he can't. The Reaper regen barely allowing him to survive. That's a Zealot, 2 adepts for 2 Reapers. Great trade there for Clem. And unfortunate for Hero, who's going to find himself in a disastrous opening. And he's still building adepts. He needs to swap to Stalker production. When you play Oracle, guys, you have to play Stalkers to defend the Cyclones. If he's playing Adept Oracle, he will not be able to stop, say, 2 Cyclones, a Viking, Pack of Marines, and a Medevac. It's going to be nearly impossible. Now, he does have Shield Battery in the natural, so as long as he pulls his probes away, he'll be fine. Oracle deals with the Reaper. He's not pulling his probes away. Pull the probes away. Oh, he lets the Hellion get 2 kills. Bit sloppy there. He was so focused on the main, of course. It is what it is. Thank you so much, Zephyr, by the way. Massive subs. Thank you. Contempt with a sub there, setting off the hype train. Thanks a lot, guys, for the support. Really appreciate it. We are casting 16 hours of StarCraft today. It's a busy schedule, so get yourselves excited. There will be a break in the middle. I'll make sure I go out, do a bit of exercise, get some fresh air, touch some grass, all that sort of stuff, so that I don't actually go crazy. But it should be a lot of fun. Oracle dove in straight past the Medevac. Hero, the kind of guy who knows his opponent's gone double gas, should have a Cyclone out, and still flies into the mineral line because he's actually just insane. Does throw his Oracle away for it, dude. If he pulled that Oracle away a few seconds earlier, this would be disastrous for Clem. But gets the Oracle snipe. Let's lose a bunch more SCVs and Marines to these Adepts, though, and that's really important damage. That's exactly what Hero needed. Now, he's going to go charge Phoenix, and like I said, I don't think you can make this transition in time. I think he's going to probably lose his 3rd base to a pressure, but there's only 5 Marines. Dude, how many Marines has he killed? He's killed 4 Marines. Feel like Clem maybe missed a bit of production as well. I feel like he should have had like 15 Marines out by now, but I guess he delayed his natural and his mineral income a fair bit, so his kind of income is being competed with by many different concerns, and he's actually not confident pushing. So he sees a battery, Phoenix, Zealots, and a 3rd Nexus. He is going to start pushing. I feel like maybe with Charge you can defend this, but one thing Hero has shown is when he goes Charge Phoenix, he's almost always way too late to get to 4 gateways. This is exactly how he lost a game last week, where we were saying, hey, you have to build 4 gateways before building shield batteries. Shield batteries don't really help Zealot Phoenix very much. It's all about Zealot count, and the batteries do really quite well with the Stalkers, but he doesn't have any Stalkers. He's trying to avoid the Stalker production where possible. And of course, with no Oracle, no Stasis Traps, no way to slow this push down. The Adepts, though, dude, these Adepts are kind of ruining Clem. Clem is going to kill another shield battery. No cancel on that one. Like I said, more gateways and more Zealots are how you deal with this as Hero. And he's got enough. He's got enough. That's enough. 4 Phoenix, 7 Zealots run forward. The Medevac does not get sniped, though. I'm not sure why he pulled back with those Phoenix, as they are extremely healthy. He should not be letting anything escape from here whatsoever. Definitely not the Medevac. Zealots will catch those Cyclones. Everything goes down, and dude, I think he's done it. I think we're seeing the rare case where Hero actually wins the first best of 3 versus Clem. And this might be a chance for Hero to finally win one of these Monday night weeklies. He's played Clem so many times over the last month, and it looks like finally he's actually starting to get some profit here. The Phoenix Zealot style, I did not think he'd be ready for the next push, but he said, let me dive my Oracles and Adepts and find insane amounts of damage. And that's the thing. Most players think defensively. Hero thinks offensively at almost all times. And you know what? We were watching Clem play Protoss vs Terran from the other side of this matchup against Kua just before, and he did the exact same thing, right? Where when you watch Clem play PvT, there is an insane over-aggression, but it's the secret to his success. It's why he's so good in the matchup, because he realizes that when Terran is on the defense and you're constantly forcing them to react and stim and run around defending their bases, you just have so much more freedom as the Protoss. You've got room to be greedy behind it, room for error. And I really feel like the crucial moment in this game, if we want to rewind this, is when that Oracle flew right past the first Cyclone. And I think this is a big mistake moment here for Clem. Let's look at it from his point of view, guys. He flies right past, doesn't notice it. If he turned around there, this would be a very different game. But instead, look at how much damage he takes. 2 Marines and 3 SCVs to the Oracle. Almost loses a 4th. The Adepts get 2 more and 2 more Marines. Crazy damage. Crazy damage. in a situation where he would have lost maybe 1 or 2 SCVs and completely shut it down and been counter-attacking with 4 or 5 more Marines, way more income, way earlier, and we would have seen Hero get taken advantage of. But Hero, you know, flying the Oracle in, like I said, is a crazy move because you know Clem off a double gas will have a Cyclone by the timing he flew in. Yet he flew in with 0 fear, trusting his, you know, reaction speed to keep him alive. Crazy risk for Hero, pays off big time, basically sums up Hero's entire career, gets the win in the first series, and goes to the grand finals. All right, guys. Hero won the first series, but guess what? He's going to have to face him again. Clem takes down Max in the losers bracket, and now they have to rematch in another best of 3. It's now the grand finals. If Clem wins this best of 3, he'll have to win a second best of 3 against Hero, whereas Hero, he just wins 2 maps here. And he will, of course, take down the entire tournament, having already defeated Clem once. It's going to be a no-scout opening, Cybercore before Nexus, though. He did do a really nice Nexus before Core opening earlier, and I'd love to see more of that, but Clem does go for the early Reaper on Whispers of Gold, so would be able to punish it. Special ruling for this is you can't play the same maps in the second best of 3 that you play in the first one. So they veto down to 3 maps. If they go to the second series, you're going to be choosing 3 maps out of 6. A slightly different format. Gonna make things a bit more interesting for us viewers. Adept gonna push the Reaper back. Careful, Clem. Oof. Does get out. Stargate's on the way. I love that Hero's playing a lot more Stargate. I think Stargate is so good in this matchup, and for a while everyone was telling me you just can't play Stargate against Terran. And I was like, you know, I bow down to the authority of you higher level players. I think Oracle's amazing at my MMR, but I guess it just doesn't work versus Clement at pro level. I think once again we learn that anytime you think something's an absolute in StarCraft, you should remind yourself to go back and double check on that and work really hard to figure that out. Didn't they already play on this map? So we're talking about these 2 series. That's a completely separate series, right? So the ruling we just talked about, yes, they already played in the former best of 3, but that was not this series. That was a separate best of 3, whereas this one, oh, he lets him get out. Oh, no, he doesn't. Dude, I can't believe that Adept got that shot off. Well done. He does spot what's going on. That's actually really important that he sees the Stargate, sees the Phoenix, knows what's happening, and of course a Robo goes down into a 3rd and 4th gas in the near future. It's going to be old school Phoenix Colossus. He played this last week as well. But yeah, they played this map in the previous best of 3, I believe, but you got to remember that the what we're talking about, this best of 3 and the continuation best of 3 after this. You might be looking at this and going, oh, it's the same series. It's not, right? Keep in mind, only these 2 that are actually linked together, if that makes sense. I know it's a bit of a weird rule, but I think it makes a lot of sense. You know, it just makes it way more entertaining for the viewers, and it's the viewers ultimately that the sport revolves around, right? Don't call it a sport. They're not running around and sweating, pig. Oh, guys, is he going the Charge Phoenix Immortal style, Zound style? Oh, he's not going Colossus. He's not taking these gases. He's going to go take a 3rd. Oh, Immortal Charge Phoenix Zound destroyed Clem with this the other week. Yeah, very cool, man. Yeah, we saw Phoenix Colossus on this map off Hero recently, and he actually made it look quite good. Just a single game. And I was like, wow, we never see Phoenix Colossus anymore. I'm so cool. I'm so happy. I'm so excited. Was it him or Zound? Someone did it. Only 2 Phoenixes, says chat. Yeah, because he's building Observers, Immortals, and Charge. It's just, this is like, it's 3 Phoenix, actually. He'll still mix 1 or 2 in occasionally, but it's not non-stop Phoenix because he knows that Clem scouted it. So remember, if your opponent doesn't know you're going Phoenix, you want to Chrono Phoenix non-stop because there's a good chance they drop. And if they drop, you want to just destroy it. But if they scout your Phoenix, only an insane person would try to drop into that. Clem's not crazy. So Hero is saying, well, you know I've got Phoenix, therefore you're not going to gift wrap me a drop. So I can skimp on the Phoenix production and focus on the Immortals, the Zealots, the Forge, right? So there's a lot of little adjustments that happen at this level of play. I really appreciate these sort of questions in the chat, by the way. Bullier in the chat, someone who we absolutely love, big part of our community, and a bunch of the other people in there. So guys, if you're ever wondering something or thinking out loud, I love having you guys think out loud so that I've got some ideas to bounce off so I can maybe explain things in a slightly different way or maybe think about things in a different way and, you know, explore the options of the strategies. So still no 4th Phoenix, which is interesting, I gotta say. +1 does start, going up from 2 to 4 gateways. 3rd Nexus going to 4 gases. Immortal takes out the Heli and Clem. Let's go to his vision, guys. So he's kind of like, huh, I just saw Immortal Zealots. Now you've opened Phoenix. He's going to be thinking about that Zaun bit game. I think Ghost Academy early might be a very good play against this because you can EMP the Immortals, set off their barriers and their shields, but you can also EMP the Phoenix so they can't pick off ground units. He's just going to push, generic push for now. Okay, let's go back to everyone's camera. Still only 4 gateways and non-stop probe production. Are we being too greedy, Hero? They're building more pylons, trying to go Robobay right now. The Phoenix going to jump on top of the Viking. Zealots charging forward. Stim's not ready here for Clem, but Clem has the numbers. It might not matter. Big pullback for Hero so far. Guardian Shield's going to run out. He's going to need a bit of the energy recharge on that sentry. We'd love to see that. There we go. So he's got 2 more Guardian Shields available now. 2 more gateways, 3 more gateways going down. Yeah, 4 more gateways. So he's going to go to 8 gates at this stage. He's also going to make Blink, so he's completely hard swapping off Phoenix at this stage. Good damage on the Medivacs and just baiting a bit of a stim out of a few Marines, distracting Clem. Sees the Cyclone coming back as well. Cyclone just gets a little bit of shield damage, nothing important. The Robobay coming up, it feels like Hero should be ahead in this game, but Clem's still waiting, looking for a moment, a chance to force that perfect engagement. Only 1 sentry, can't really force field with that. Guardian Shield, the only option. Doesn't pick up too many of the Widow Mines. There we go, he does pick up a few of those Widow Mines now. 1 great Widow Mine lands. There's more Widow Mines in the midst that have burrowed as well. Gets that one there that did try to unburrow. A few more Zealots coming in could be big. Those 3 Immortals will be great at clearing the Marauders. Not as good at shooting down the Marines, and it feels like maybe just not quite enough production for Hero. His 8 gates are coming online, they're just not there yet. So few attacks actually landing on the Terran units. But the Zealot Warpin's keeping him alive, and another energy recharge. Force field, nicely done. No stutter stepping here. Has to pick up, and he does hot pick up very well. But Hero's first Colossus is out. It joins him on the low ground, plus 2 attack starts, and he's got a 4th Nexus in the midst of this. That is excellent defense for Hero. Now, that being said, look at the trading for Clem. 1,200 resources of extra value. We'll see how this goes. What happens if you put banana and kiwi on top of a pizza? Well, I've never eaten the kiwi bird, and I do think chicken can do okay on pizza sometimes, so if it tastes like chicken, maybe. Talking about kiwi fruit, there's a special place in hell for you. You need to go there right now. Depth goes down on the other side to the Widowmine. Nice army on the front. The Bio started stepping in and out. That Colossus making it hard to push in. The Zealots do not want to be taking the mine or the lib hits. But dude, Clem's position, hard to handle, especially with that battery not quite up. If he has another sentry, maybe... Oh no, careful, Hero! He's going to take some big mine shots. The Stalkers do take care of the libs, though. And it looks like he will push him back for now. But units lost time 1,600 in favor of Clem. You got to be so careful. Here is Hero to pull back. Oh my gosh, Hero. Hero, get out of there. He doesn't have extended thermal lance yet. 1 Colossus goes down. Is it worth it, though? I actually think that was perfectly fine for Hero because Clem dove very deep and it costs him a lot. And these Stalkers ready to take out these Widow Mines. Going to send a Stalker forward. Blinks to dodge both of the Widow Mine shots. Excellent force supply of Terran cleaned up. Another Liberator going to be going for a counterattack. Hero blocking his 5th base with a pylon. I don't know what the hell that is, guys. I don't like it at all. I think it's a disaster. I think it's meant to be up here, but he's just thrown it down randomly because Hero sometimes does things a bit frantically. Not the most methodical player. He's more of a by instinct player. He wants that to be ready, so this base, when it half mines out in about a minute and a half, he can transfer workers. And this is one of the earliest I've ever seen Hero transfer workers from his main to his 4th. Something you've heard me be very vocally critical of Hero is the fact that he often has 8 workers doing nothing in his main for 3-4 minutes. In this game, he's transferred them the moment 4 mineral patch is exhausted, and they're over here efficiently mining. And this is next level Hero efficiency compared to what we're used to seeing from him. Extended thermal lance is there. Colossus come forward. Widow Mines go down. Zealot Stalker Colossus going to start to poke forward. Liberator comes forward. Lib will get focused down by the Stalkers. Guardian Shield is there. Vikings trying to take care of the Colossus. If he puts that Colossus in the prism, he could keep it alive for a long time. It's so low. It's not getting focus fired. Hero comes forward with that War Prism. That single Viking is not target firing. The SCVs have gone down, and Hero is on an absolute rampage today. 1 game away from sealing the deal on the entire tournament. All right, guys, going into the next game, Hero looking really, really good here. He comes over with a relatively early gate scout, hangs out, does a bit of pressure, doesn't achieve too much, just annoying. And it is a double gas opening with a Reaper first for Clem. We've got Cybercore behind the gas there. Sorry for being a little bit late, guys, as we're casting these live. We have been missing the start of games here and there occasionally today. It's always a bit chaotic hopping from game to game and trying to make sure those Twitch ad breaks don't play during the games, but Probe comes back in to try and spot what's happening, sees the reactor, gets inside the base, and he's going to go, of course, for that factory SCV. Hero's Probe is the most annoying of probes, forces an SCV off the line. Now, the Reaper's going to come out, guys. He does chrono a second Adept, but not leaving the Adept at home is a wild choice for Hero. Normally, you shade forwards and run the Adept there, because then you would have seen this Reaper coming. You would have had a chance to cancel the shade if you want to. But Hero, as always, one who likes to play on the edge of his seat, a bit dangerous. It's kind of his middle name. And that Reaper has to back off. Bit of probe damage. 2 probes go down. One in this side of the map, the SCV killed it. The other one with the Reaper. And you can see this Adept should be able to chase the Reaper back with a third Adept coming out in about 10-15 seconds. Should be fine. SCV on the natural. Very exposed, but Clem's so good at rotating this SCV, isn't he? So good at that. Hellion gets a few hits off. Adept does, and then shades away. Oracle coming out first. And, of course, Clem is aware that it's a Stargate. Doesn't know it's an Oracle, but the early Cyclone is natural. Now, remember, in the earlier series they played, the Oracle dove in right past the Cyclone, killed a ton of stuff. You do not want to risk doing that. Against a double gas build, you want to assume it's on the way. And in my opinion, you want to fill up energy and already start spamming stasis traps out here to slow down the incoming Cyclone, Marine, Medevac, Viking pressure. Because that's what almost every game is going to devolve to. Now, he's going to go quick Twilight and try to go Blink Stalker behind it. But he's going Phoenix. Maybe not. He might actually try to do Phoenix Zealot again, which it's been one of my favorite styles for a while. He's going second and third Gateway before third Nexus. So my rule that I developed for my own much lower level players, if I'm playing this Phoenix Zealot playoff Oracle, I always go 4 Gate Zealot before starting a third Nexus to stay safe if they've gone double gas, which of course Clem has, because double gas can hit you with such scary aggression. Oh, the Oracle messed up there. Big mistake. Big mistake. So his big mistake, guys, is he stopped moving to Revelate. And anytime you stop moving, the Oracle takes a long time to get back up to full speed again. So whenever you're microing an Oracle, you want to dance back and forwards. Losing that Oracle is going to really cost him. He's going Blink. So it is 3-gate Blink, and he's going to go 4 gas on 2 base. He needs a pylon right now. Hero, if he doesn't have a pylon, he's not going to be able to warp in. His warp gate is like a minute delayed. He completely forgot it. Oh, no. Guys, this is a disastrous early game right now for Hero. He's got a Chrono Stalkers out of these gateways. His pylon only now starting. What is this 4 gas about? Oh, gosh. I think Clem might just bop him here. We've got a Siege Tank on the front line. Cyclone Marine hanging out as well. This is huge. Clem absolutely saw the Stargate earlier with his Reaper, guys, when he was in the base. He saw it building. He knew exactly what it was. Phoenix going to pick up the tank. Adept Stalker comes out, but they only pick off 1 Marine. The Phoenix has to back away. He's already used his energy recharge. I don't think there's much he can do here. Cancels the shade at the last second. With no Warp Gate, you're always going to have a hard time against this sort of push. Batteries down, gates down, which means you're down to just 2 gateways here. So even when Warp Gate finishes, you're screwed. Your pylons are falling. He has to pull the probes in the near future, but Stalkers are dying as they walk down the ramp. Real sloppy defense in early game here for Hero. Loses both Stalkers. Probes forced to pull, but it's already a big problem. The Marines in the Cyclone gunning down whatever they can, and I think he's just going to focus down as many units as possible. Tank gets out of the lift. Phoenix picks it up again. So much damage going down, and that Cyclone, of course, refusing to die. Tank still not dead. Finally, the Stalkers take care of it. And of course, the Medevac here going to pick off a single Stalker on the way out because he knows the Phoenix are probably going to chase him down anyway. Might as well try to get a few more kills. Very tricky play for Clem, who does potentially game-ending damage. The lack of the pylon combined with the forgetting of the Warp Gate. Bit too brutal there for Hero. Losing the Oracle, of course, was the beginning of the end. We always say, general rule, if you open Oracle versus Terran and you lose that Oracle, you really should lose the game most of the time. As a Protoss player, that's our rule is, you play Oracle. The number 1 rule is not find damage with the Oracle. It's don't lose the Oracle. And if you play with that in mind, Oracles are amazing units that are very reliable and force big responses and can get big stasis traps and great scouting and all that sort of stuff. But if you lose it straight away, it ends up being a very bad opening. It's just such an expensive unit in the early game. 300 resources, 150 is a bit too much. Now, Robo's on the way, 4 gas, extra gateway, 3rd Nexus attempt, but of course, Hero's going to be playing from so far behind. Now, last time I counted Hero out versus Clem, He made a disgusting comeback on Hellscape, so we won't count him out just yet. Four Stalkers getting spotted by the Phoenix. They're going to jump into the main base. Widowmine actually takes one out. There's another Widowmine behind the factory as well. Great positioning. He's going to stim a bit of bio back. Actually, he stims his whole army back. Gets the Phoenix and 2 Stalkers. I mean, you're buying yourself time, guys. And when you're down 8 workers, 7 workers, that time doesn't really help because you're mining less than your opponent. So time doesn't help you. He's gonna go for 3 shield batteries here. I mean, I don't know, man. I feel like we have nothing. No, there's nothing here that can scale. Guardian shield's good. You're gonna have no damage behind any force fields, like a few Stalkers, 1 Immortal. I'm almost surprised he's not going Disruptor here. That's the unit where if Clem does just have a brain fart, maybe, just maybe. Force fields coming forward. Oh, he missed a force field on the right side. He should have put one there. Clem just stims to win. Too easy for him. Far too easy. Catching hero unprepared, and the Robo gonna get sniped so fast. Widowmine's dealing with the Stalker flank from the north. Stalker Probe up against Stim Bio Widowmine. Operation Probe Shield not going well for hero there, as Clem just monster modes the second game. Kills the Oracle and does an easy Cyclone Tank Marine push. GG, well played. All right, guys, double gas for Clem on Hellscape, the map where he had a very good start into a bit of a silly throwaway versus hero the other week. He made a crazy comeback here. I think it all started right with, I think Clem flew a double drop into Hero's base. Hero was up here, and Clem just flew a drop in and just got it shot down. Didn't scan ahead or anything. It was very sloppy. But let's see if Hero can have a better opening. I think with these Oracle openings, I've seen people open Oracle really safe and reliably, like Classic, for instance. When I watch Hero open Oracle, I'm like, man, he gets damage no one else would ever get. That's so cool. And then the next game is Oracle just flies in and dies, and I'm like, that's why we don't do that. Most of us don't have the risk appetite that Hero does. Hero's like, show me a coin and I'll flip it, bro. Pylon at the front. Does see the Reaper coming in. Stalker. Just going to hover in the middle, making sure he's covering both sides. Twilight Council and Battery coming up. It's once again one of these delayed Nexi. You see just how late they are there. And the Twilight Council, not that fast either. Definitely not seeing the propulsion of Greed, which I think could be something that Hero should be doing. I mean, it went so well for him when he went for the 19 Nexus no scout build earlier, so I'd love to see more of it. I do think if you're not going to scout, going core before Nexus is a super suboptimal way of taking advantage of the no scout. The extra probe mining, when your second gas is so delayed and stuff, you don't get much value out of it. It kind of doesn't help you nearly as much. 3 Reaper, 2 Hellion coming in. He's got 2 Stalkers and an Adept. If you try to run through there, you're crazy, Clem. But the probe was not in position to wall off. Okay, he's going to wall off that left side. Good micro for Hero. Got to keep the Adept back, though. Gets rid of both Hellions before losing anything. And only 1 probe goes down here. He's going to lose a second. Oh, no, he won't. Not with the battery there. The Stalkers realize it's only the probes on the natural that are really vulnerable. And 1 Adept, 1 probe. For 2 Hellions and 2 Reapers, great start there for Hero, who's going, of course, up into that 3-gate Blink and Robo. Chronoing his probes a little bit. This pylon is delayed, though. He's got to be careful on that. I'd love to see him think about taking a nice early third base. Wow, Clem gonna pressure. This is a wild decision, guys. Going for a medevac pressure against a Blink opening this late in the game? I mean, the reason this is scary, guys, is look, this is arriving at the Protoss base. You can see it coming across as Blink is about to finish. Incredibly risky. But that's Clem. Clem likes to play risky as well, man. He's in his opponent's face, start to finish. If he finds a Stalker, look at that, gets himself a freebie. Stalker's going to punish the medevac potentially. Second Stalker almost goes down as well. Oh my god, it does. It does. Blink's not quite there. And look at that, gets 2 Stalkers, delays the third a little bit, gets out of there. Leaves only 1 Marine behind. This is Clem. This is Clem in a nutshell. And look at that. Reaper's going to go in. Oh, he's trying to trigger Hero right now. Just being annoying. Okay, it goes down, but what's the bat? He forgets about that probe for the rest of this game. Oh, no, he remembered it. Okay, Hero's on point. Hero's on point. Never mind. Hero not as tiltable as you might think. That Smurf account, thank you for the subby, or the gifted sub, I should say. Forge and Robobay coming in. Okay, tank shot on the Stalkers. Now, great wall off to defend Blink up here. Really nicely done there for Clem. Engineering Bay, 3 racks, Stim starting, Raven about to pop out. If you can find the Observer with the Raven, that'd be really good. But it's shocking how fast the Forge and the Robobay are. And this is what Hero's done so well recently, is we've seen earlier in this, the previous series, Clem just sat there for a bunch of his games and played so passive versus Hero. And look at that. I mean, I think losing a Stalker's fine there. You got an SCV, you wasted the auto turret energy, that's okay. But like, Clem's been playing so passive, dropping fast third command centers, just sitting at home, playing ultra safe. Play greedy, build a third, and tech at the same time. Why not? Yeah, go for +1 and Colossus really early. Kill him with +2 Colossus at 9 minutes. You know, I don't know if Clem's style can withstand that, because yeah, I think you can run away with this game. Hero playing a really smart style, and it's the flexibility and the range that Hero has. Just nothing's predictable, you know? There's no easy counters with Hero. You can't just settle into your comfort zone and say, this beats his style, because which style? Which version of Hero is going to come out? You never know. Oh, perfect trap. Can he get it? One more shot. Yep, gets the Raven. Beautiful recall, worth doing that. Now, Clem can push out the front, realizing there is nothing set up to harass him as he moves out. And this Observer not watching. Both Observers not watching the move out. Hero, you got to get out on this map. What are your Stalkers doing at home, mate? You've got no units. I was talking about being greedy. But come on, mate. This is crazy. This is crazy. Okay, he sends a probe out, realizing there's a hole in his vision, and he knows the push is there. He's going to have to pull his army north. He does have a Colossus and a few sentries, but letting those tanks get this far forward is a huge mistake. Sentry almost goes down immediately. Stalkers blinking back. No Observer here to track when the sieging is happening. Look at the way Clem shifts forward. Great move. He's going to get a big volley off. Good pullback for Hero. Never mind. Dodges the first big volley. Charge. Extended Thermal Lance. +1. All almost finished, but not quite. Hero needs to build like 4 pylons right now. He's supply blocked. He's only building 1 pylon. Hero. He's got to be building 3 pylons right now. He's just not reacting. He builds... Okay, there we go. 3 pylons go down now. They do. +2 starts. Amazing that he's starting +2 in the midst of this. Feel like there's more urgent things to deal with, but this supply block kills him. It's such a brutal supply block. He has to go now. I don't think he can break this position. If he can get rid of the tanks and keep his Colossus alive, he's fine. He's got to get that second tank. The second tank, though, it gets defended. You see the way Clem runs forward with his bio hyper aggressively, but he bleeds a lot of Marines off doing that. Might be a big mistake there for Clem. The Colossus is still healthy. Uh-oh, no support for the Colossus, though. No support for the Colossus. Then again, that bio is so damaged. It might be acceptable. He can refill the energy. There's 2 Colossus in a dream right now for Hero. Gets rid of the tanks, builds a 4th Nexus in the face of it. I think he's, you know, something we've seen from Max Pax is him looking like he's about to die and always expanding at the same time as he looks like he's on the cusp of death. And if you could do that as a Protoss, when the Terran has all their eggs in one basket, pushing this top left side, sometimes, yeah, that bottom right does open up. Marine's going to scout it. So I like that Clem's keeping awareness of what's happening. He's also healed his bio up rather nicely. You see this? Okay, good. I was going to say, he pulls to the high ground. You know he's going to ambush you there. You should not be caught off guard by that. And indeed, he wasn't. Hero reacted instantly, even dodging the Marauder projectiles. Oh, triple gold mineral patch in the top left there. Potentially a 5th base for Protoss. Stalker, blinking back. 3 Colossus, 6 Stalkers, 1 Sentry, 6 Zealots. It's not a bad army for Protoss. Great force field. Shaves off a bunch of these units. Stalker's blinking forward, trying to go for the medevacs. 2 Vikings are here, but with 3 Colossus, I do think Hero has the better army with that +2. Remember what I said about 9 minutes? Go kill him with +2 Colossus? Well, I think we've lost enough units that maybe that's not possible. We'll see how it goes. Oh, I love the way he's been setting off these Widow Mines, man. No way that survives. Oh, it does. And he gets the Observer. Clem, you nasty boy, mate. Well played. I would love to see some pylons or gateways getting proxied. You know, no warp prism out right now. He's going to try to build one. Hero does blink. Still takes a big splashy. 4 of those Zealots taking damage. Clearing these Widow Mines up. They're not cheap. Units lost time surprisingly close as a 4th Command Center goes down. We've got 2nd eBay Armory, so +2 attack starts. Ghost Academy is almost done, but it's not here yet. If you can fight pre-EMP with only 5 Vikings against 4 Colossus with +2 and an extended Thermal Lance, Hero realizes this is his moment, this is his window, and his timing and he is going to press forward, but he does want to stop chasing for a moment. He's going to click the command center, but oh, he gets some big volleys off, but so did the Vikings. Command center gets cancelled. Stalkers go forward, try to force those Vikings back. That orange hit point Colossus is a vulnerable target. It's going to go down as the War Prism doesn't quite get there, does he? Oh, he's chasing right now, but he's splitting his army up. Hero's got to be careful, mate. He's got +3 attack on the way as well, but he's got Clem on the ropes. SCV starting to go down, but I think another Colossus will fall to the Vikings, and that's always a problem, just not saving any into that Prism. Maybe a turning point. Then again, Hero has got Clem's economy in shambles, and I think he's about to win this entire tournament. With only 2 Vikings left in the sky, a Colossus with +2 still causing so many problems. And the Zealots and the Stalkers just keep going in and out. The Bio wounded. It's going to run out of stim. It's going to have very little healing energy left. Does retarget on the Stalkers, but a blink for Hero to dodge it. As long as that Colossus stays near the Prism, he can always hop inside at the last second. Shooting Marauders right now. Might be better off shooting those SCVs. I think the blink back focuses a medevac on the escape. Excellent for Hero. As he pulls back, he's got a 4th fully mining. He should take a 5th up north as well. Get that gold base rolling. Go for armor upgrades after this +3. I actually would have appreciated armor immediately because it upgrades about a minute faster than +3 attack, and it's so much cheaper. But he's got that 5th on the south side. He's got 2nd Robo, 2 more gateways. Clem's on the ropes, but army supply is still ahead for him. I think a few Zealots maybe getting in the natural or a Prism in the main could be game-changing, but I think Hero's decided I can wear you down on the front. You're low on Vikings, you're low on medevacs. If you keep building Vikings, you can't have medevacs. If I keep picking off those Vikings, you have to keep replacing them. You're going to be stuck in a never-ending cycle of building the things you don't want to build. Almost gets a Viking, not quite though. Clem wins that trade, getting a Stalker kill and insta-repairing the Viking, realizing the efficiency that is needed to defend in this game, but he's heavy on Marines, very vulnerable to those Colossus. Widowmine's clearing the front round of Zealots. Marines trying to stay away from those Colossus. SCVs have to be pulled. He cannot afford to lose these Marines. Colossus taking big damage. Those Stalkers blinking back. Vikings are gone though, as are most of the medevacs. The range of the Colossus and Stalkers outranging the Bio, dancing in and out. And the power of the fast upgrades and the fast Colossus paying off. Hero playing so defensive off a 3-gate blink while Clem bunkered up, turtled at home for a little bit, and during that window, Hero ran ahead with the tech, got out of control, and we knew that +2 Colossus timing was going to be a scary moment for a Clem who was playing much more standard and much more Widowmine focused. So many Widowmines were getting picked off that game. 19 Widowmines went down, and I don't think they got value overall. I think Hero, shout out to him for picking off so many Widowmines so well. GG, well played. Hero wins the Monday Night Weekly after getting 2nd place 2 weeks in a row. Fantastic to see someone upset Clem and dethrone him in the Monday Night Weekly. GG, well played.